The PowerLift Pro makes mortising on your router table quick, safe, and easy. Using controlled movements of the workpiece above the table, the PowerLift Pro acts much like a plunge router, advancing the bit upward from below into the workpiece. The first setup step in the process is to set the top of the bit even with the top of the router table. To do this, use a straight edge and lower the bit until it's flush, and then set 0 on the app. Store the 0 position in one of the memory positions, along with a position that's slightly below the table and one that is your max depth for your mortise. Since the PowerLift will automatically advance the bit up into the workpiece, we need to find a speed that is suitable for the material being routed and the size of the mortise. I tell the lift to move from below the table to the max depth of the mortise, and I watch the advancement of the bit. I'm just trying to determine if this is a reasonable speed to make a mortise. You don't want it to be too fast or too slow. The 20% speed rate seems like a good speed for this operation. We'll go with that. The lift indicates when the memory position has been reached. To control the workpiece from above, we'll use the fence, a stop block, and an indicator line. We'll move the workpiece back and forth as the bit comes up into the work and reaches its final depth. I'm ready to route the mortise. I turn on the router and then tell the lift to advance from below the table to the max depth. The lift will automatically travel at the current speed setting and stop when it reaches the 1-inch mark. I move the workpiece from side to side between the stop block and the indicator line. I'm using a spiral upcut bit and dust collection below the router table, which means that virtually no sawdust is present up top. It's all being sucked down below the table. The app indicates when the max depth has been reached. At this point, I set the speed to 100% and tell the lift to go down to the position that's below the table. The lift does a quick job of moving the bit below the table, and the app indicates that that position has been reached, so that I know it's safe to remove the workpiece. To route a mortise in the end of a board, you can use a simple jig like this one. The principle is the same. I've got 2 stop blocks, and I move the workpiece backward and forward while I advance the bit up into the work. The speed rating that was selected is right for this operation, because as I move the workpiece from left to right, I feel very little resistance, which means I'm keeping up nicely with the rate in which the bit is coming up out of the table. After I reach the max depth, I run the bit back down below the table. Routing mortises with the PowerLift Pro is quick, accurate, and safe. The PowerLift Pro, changing the way you work on the router table. For more videos on the PowerLift Pro or other great woodworking products, visit MLCSwoodworking.com.